Okay, my friends, here it is. This Saturday morning live stream at the Garden Like a Viking headquarters, Zone 5/6, Northern Indiana. And we have a hot, sunny day today. Psych. It is snowing, actually, and supposedly, according to the alarmist forecasts and stuff, we're supposed to get. Let's see. Let me just read it to you real quick, okay? Because this is what everyone like loses their mind because it hasn't snowed. It's been over 1,000 days since we have in Fort Wayne got consecutive 3 inches at a time or more. Over 3 years it's been. So we used to get that all the time, but now it's a little bit not quite so much. So severe weather alert, significant threat to life or property. What? Heavy snowfall expected. Total snow accumulations. Oh, okay. So they've took it way, way, way down. Total snow accumulations ranging from 5 to 8 inches now, because it was 7 to 11 inches. 7 to 11. Now, oh yeah, no, now it's 5 to 8 inches. Yeah, and then okay, south, like in Indianapolis, is going to get maybe 3 to 6. So, oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know what's going to happen is that it's going to get about 33 degrees. What always happens here the past 7 years since I've lived here, again after traveling 6 years, is um, it's going to get about 33 degrees, and then it's all going to turn to slush, and it's going to basically sleet rain, and then turn to frozen ice, and that'll be about it. And we're not going to get no big fluffy snow and stuff, but we'll see. So let me know, is it snowing where you guys are at? So let us see who is here. What's up, Jason Hetty? Hello, my friend. Donald Hughes, yes. B. Hendricks, good to see you here. Let's see, Val. Good morning, Teets. What's up, my friend? Hey, if you guys want, let me just tell you, if you want, even though it's not official yet, we don't have the pixels on there and the tracking units and stuff, but you can check out VikingGrowingSystem.com. And you could even purchase if you want, but it's not like there's no video, there's no welcome video, it's not complete yet, but it's almost complete. The only thing I got to do is add the value video. All right, so if you scroll down throughout on the website, you will see the testimonials, and so I picked like 6 of my favorite testimonials for the moment, although I can rotate them out, but I'm going to add more eventually. But Teets, yours is a video, so I just put that video up there. It auto plays when you scroll down that far. It auto plays, so a lot of people are going to see that. All right, so guys, send me them testimonials. That would be very helpful. Let's see here. Pop Perm, what's going on, my friend? Yes, Celtic, what's up? Penny Simpson, hello. AK Froggy. Bad echo in the audio. Oh. AK Froggy says bad echo in the audio, but then right below it, Donald Hughes says, Nate, sound is loud and clear. Because he already knows I'm going to be asking that. He already knows. He's been here long enough. He knows. What's up? Look to Nature. I sent you an email about 5 days ago. I need to, why don't you look at that, or why don't you open that, or you probably missed it. It's very understandable, so no problem. But check out that email because we're going to need to, it's go time for that. So check out the email. Let me know. Yep. So let us see here. Oh yeah, B. Hendricks, definitely. The Weather Channel uses scare tactics. Oh my gosh. I mean, big time. When the whole thing is all just a 50-50 chance. It's going to snow or not. You're going to get a bunch or not. I mean, just whatever. The main thing is that they took on the social media kind of, angst, and they got to make it sensationalized. Got to make it sensationalized. But yet, all the sensationalized headlines and stuff I've seen about the weather the past, 5 years, it's been nothing. Nothing except during the summer, crushing droughts. That's about it. Yeah. Right. uh, the 5 inches is not life threatening. It's just not. I mean, if you're totally unprepared, but guys, after having several different types of vehicles, and now that I have the this, so I've had it for some time now, 8, 9 years, the Ford Expedition, I love that thing, and it just laughs at the snow. I mean, it doesn't matter. We took it up to Traverse City. The whole family, 9 people, is in the car. Took it up to Traverse City several times to see my brother when he was air traffic controlling there. And you know, if you've been up there, it's like there's like 5 or 4 feet of snow everywhere. There's just snow everywhere all winter. And so we're driving up there and boom, big old snow bank and stuff, come to a dead stop, put it in reverse, just back right out, no problem. I mean, the Expedition just does wonderful in the snow. So even though we don't get much snow anymore, like we used to, it still is worth it to me to just know that, yeah, I can just drive out no problem. As opposed to, like, I drove my dad's truck for several years, which is just a standard Ford F-150, to a back wheel drive, which means one wheel drive basically. And that thing can't even get up a driveway. It just spin out until you're in the ditch. So I had to carry gravel. Here's what you do: if you have that kind of vehicle and you don't have a choice, then you need to carry gravel in it underneath the or right over the rear axle. Put significant amount, several hundred pounds of gravel, and then carry a small shovel with you, so that when you do get stuck, you can take that gravel out and throw it under the one wheel that does spin. And that helped a lot because that gives a lot of good traction and the weight that you need. And then just take it slow, and then just don't really drive. If you got that kind of vehicle, just stay inside, you know. So let's see here. Okay, no echo. Good, good, good. Yes, let us see. Sam Potzik. Yes, please do. That would be nice. Because I will be putting lots more of the testimonials on the website. So, yes. Guys, don't forget to let me tell you about this cabbage that is over here. We finally harvested some of the cabbages, and they're not quite as big as they looked when they were. I mean, they're big, definitely. I was probably 30 pounds, I would say. So the thing is, what, I don't know exactly what to do with it. It's just kind of big. And and there's 5 of these. So there's 5 of these cabbages, and 5 of the Brunswicks, and 5 of the, I'm going to show you. So we'll do a deep dive into cabbage here. If you guys want to like learn how to grow cabbage that is pretty much just massive, then I can let you know. Several things that we learned though with the Viking granular, yeah, because that stuff is like nitrous for the plants, which is not always what you want, and I'll explain that here in a little bit once we get situated into things. Okay, so. Right, Celtic. You can just check it out. It's but I almost don't even want to tell you guys about it yet because it's not like officially live. You're just getting a sneak peek, like behind the scenes, because the video's not there and the pixel is not there. But it is VikingGrowingSystem.com, so you can check it out. And it's really interesting, guys. Doing all this kind of work has shown me just the really the power of the internet and of social media and of marketing and all of this. So we have to, in order to run ads on Facebook and YouTube, you have to install these things on your website that is called a Pixel from Facebook, and it's another tracking device from Google, which is YouTube. And what it does is everyone, and this isn't just my site, this is all sites do this. If you have a website and you want to advertise in any way, you have to do this. And so they install this little thing, it's called a Pixel, that when people come and visit to your website, it tracks every single metric about them. It tracks how long they spend on the website, how far down your funnel they go, what things they hover their mouse over for a long time. I mean, it tracks every single behavior pattern of the person. And it also reads all of their previous cookies. Remember a few years ago, really it was 2020 when the digital era, began. When now there's like an explosion of you have to press OK, or like cookies, all those little cookie things that you have to say OK to. And even if you don't say OK, it doesn't matter because they do it anyways. And let's see here. Oh, good. Yeah. So even if you don't accept, it doesn't matter because it does it anyways. And so the pixel will read all of your previous cookies. Your cookies and all of this stuff is so deep that it tracks every movement, every website that you've been to, the whole network of people you talk to, all of that stuff, all being tracked, traced, cataloged, of course, if you have a device at all. And it doesn't even matter if you, oh, well, I shut all that stuff off. No, you don't. You think you do, but you don't. It's not possible. The whole thing is designed for that, okay? So then they use that to train their AI, to train the algorithm to understand, okay, what are the characteristics of the people that purchased this? And then it finds like all the people using thousands of data points. It finds all like people. Even if you don't think you have something in common with these people, the algorithm knows more about you than you know. As far as points of data, most people would struggle to list 200 data points about themselves. Yeah. But the Facebook and the Google algorithms and stuff can have 20, 40, 50,000 data points on you. And if you understand what that means, then you start to grasp the scope of it. So they understand the deep, intricate behavior patterns of people. All right. So then they will use that they essentially sell. Remember, if the product is free, if the service is free, you are the product. Remember that. If the service is free, you are the product. All right. So to everybody like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all of this, they are selling that to advertisers. I mean, I'm just a tiny little nothingness advertiser, but like real advertiser, but any advertiser, they sell that too. That capability to market only to the exact specific clientele that you are interested in. It's not like a billboard where just, we win some, we lose some, a bunch of people see it. Some of them might, So it's pretty crazy. This whole, I mean, I always knew it was deep until I started running ads and learning about all of this. Then you realize, how deep it really is, and even that is still, you understand the deepness. It's just, you're feeling it on a different level. So yeah, just wanted to speak about that. So we haven't installed that pixel yet, which we need to. So that's why I'm not going to be like, yeah, everybody go there and check it out. Oh, Zebra PT says, they used to say it was going to rain. Now we're having atmospheric rivers. That's exactly illustrative of the point. And do you remember they used to say, it's going to be pretty cold this weekend. Now they say there's a polar vortex coming. It's going to be making, this system's going to be making its way, or this cell's going to be making its way from the far north, and the polar vortex is coming. You mean it's going to be cold or what? Yeah. Okay. But polar vortex cell sounds a lot more, we better view, what do we got to know? It's just another way that they keep you angst. They keep you all hyped up on the polar vortex. Yeah. Oh, hey, I totally understand. Do not worry at all. I'll be the last person to be like, hey, you missed my email, because I miss way more than I catch. So don't worry about it. But I'll just remind you again. That's the thing. If you guys are trying to contact me or want something, you just, and I don't respond or I don't notice it, then just send it again. And that's all you can do. I don't know how other people keep track of their stuff. I mean, well, I'm learning all of that. Had to set up all the different email automations and workflows and stuff like that, and the different folders for the stuff to go to, so that everybody can email support@vikingcourses.com if they have issues. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge task for someone like me that is not like all tech enthusiast. So that is a massive task. You have to learn and sign up Google Workspace, all these different things you got to do. Yeah. Yes, Ecology Today. Sandbags for weight and traction over the drive wheels. Definitely, that is good. Do some of that too. But I found that the pea gravel works better as far as getting you out of a once you do get stuck, because you're going to get stuck. Yes. Okay, you guys are talking about just a wee thing. Yeah, massive cabbage. Yeah, coleslaw for days. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, we're going to have 5 of these things, or we do have 5 of these things. So it's going to be interesting. We still have not tasted it yet. They definitely got tore up by the freezer. It was deep freezing. It was in the like 20 several nights. But we just harvested these yesterday. So there's still plenty of life left in them. But see, that's in relation to like this one over here, I'll show you, and this would have used to been considered a big cabbage as well. I mean, this is the Brunswick cabbage. This is a pretty big cabbage as well. I mean, it's an easy 10 pounds, So this previously would have been like, ooh, big cabbage, but it is dwarfed by this Sapporo. But we will see how the flavor difference is, all right? Because this has a nice, soft, buttery flavor, makes wonderfully delicious kraut. We will see how the Sapporo Giant does. And it lived up to its name. It's truly giant. Guys, everything is about marketing, all right? So, I mean, this is one reason why when I was seeing that whole ridiculous electroculture craze, and I was seeing people given their before and afters, and it's electroculture. You just stick these little copper antennas in the ground and stuff, and it just grows so big, and I don't even know what to do. I'm giving it away to the food pantry. Look, this one is before electroculture, and this is exactly what they were doing. That's how I could smell the hustle, This one was before electroculture, okay? But now, once I stuck these little antennas into the ground, look, just magic. It's pure magic. This is what happens. It's electroculture. Ha, ha. And that's exactly what I was seeing. And so I was like, okay, well, I know that this has to do with genetics. It's all about genetics. Now, obviously, the plant has to have everything that it needs, which, remember the 5 things that plants need. So long as you're providing that, and they can grow to the biggest of their genetic potential, you're going to get stuff like this if it's genetically predispositioned to it. It has absolutely nothing to do with electroculture of any sort, okay? So that's what that is. Let me grab a towel because there was still a lot of ice in these things. Now, typically I will leave cabbage outside as long as I can, but it's going to be quite cold, single digits. Coming up here in the next few days. So it's time to go. It's time to call it. Let me show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. Check this out. Let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. We can see, I don't know if you guys can see if it doesn't blow it out. Look at the sauna tent. We got a nice large sauna tent, 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 220, 240 sometimes if we push it. You can regulate it, of course. It doesn't have to be that hot, but we like it hot towards the end of the season. But right now it's pretty brutal. But see, we got the garden beds to sleep. for the winter time. Just harvested the cabbages. We're ready for the long winter's nap of the garden. Because we are not napping, because we have the sauna and ice bath. And it totally changes your whole perception of winter, your whole experience of winter, everything. It makes you just so look forward to it. It makes you look forward to how good you feel doing it. Being outside. And there's something about getting up to 220 degrees, you know, that's just, oh man, so it warms you, it warms your bone marrow. I will tell you that. It warms your bone marrow. And so there's just something about that makes the cold not a problem. It's just, well, you can just tolerate it. It resets your calibration for what's cold. So if you're like, I'm cold all the time, all winter long. Well, not if you sauna and ice bath. You will not be cold like that. It will just be different. It's not like you become Wim Hof right away or anything, but you definitely, it just, again, resets your calibration. It warms you to the bone marrow. So you're like, oh, you can just tolerate that. If you know at the end of the day, we're about to fire up that wood-fired sauna, let it heat up for about 30 minutes, get in there, pour the water over those rocks. Oh my gosh, wow. It just instantly relaxes every muscle in the body. Whoa. And then we pour some eucalyptus oil, a little bit of sometimes peppermint, sometimes rosemary. Gosh, absolutely love it. So, Sam Potzik, Jurassic. That's right, Jurassic cabbage. Yes. Yeah, it's, you know, Doug McCoy, there's only so much cabbage I feel like I can eat. You know, or I mean, kraut, which I've settled on now. I don't do the type of kraut like I used to do. I used to do, one second. I used to do the Bavarian style with caraway seeds and juniper berries. Very good, very delicious, but I sort of burnt myself out on that. And when you ferment in that way, you actually limit the things that you can really have it with, right? You you actually limit the things that you can have it with. Okay, so the Bavarian kraut is good, but just cabbage and salt, a lot more diverse of use possibilities. For me, I love it, and it's not as intense. So you can have it. You can put a handful of it in the soup afterwards, after you're done, or you can have some of it with sandwiches, or you can have some with sausages, or whatever it is. So much more diverse. So that's what we do typically. I don't know what we're going to do with this much kraut though, or this much cabbage. Because we also have, you know, so we've got 5 of those massive ones. We've got 5 Brunswicks, all right? But then we've also got 5 of these, the mammoth red rock cabbage. And to be fair, the only thing that's mammoth about them, and I've grown them like 5 years in a row, so I know, the only thing that's mammoth about them is their footprint, okay? Their footprint is basically, and I'm not exaggerating really, their footprint is basically almost as big as the Sapporo. Okay, so think about it. So if you're, what would you, you know, for your, I mean, would you rather get this, you know, or this little thing, you know, from the same footprint? It's the same. It takes up the same amount of space in the garden. All right. So which one would you prefer? If you really love red cabbage because of the color, which is nice, that's why I grow it, then okay. But if you're trying to maximize food for a given space, you're not growing red varieties of stuff. Red varieties in general take up way more space than their green brethren. Now, these, okay, take up exactly the same amount of space, all right? The Brunswick and the Mammoth Red Rock, goodness, take up exactly the same amount of space, the footprint, because I do 10 of them in one bed. I do 5 on the north side of the Brunswick and 5 on the south side of the Mammoth Red Rock. And they literally take up the exact same footprint. It's just that red varieties have so much more leaf to good stuff ratio than the green ones. So, yeah. But I still grow them, obviously, because I like the flavor. I like the flavor. And even if it's not necessarily, if I'm being straightforward, it's not even the flavor. It's just the look. It's the appeal. Because like I always say, the eyes eat as well. And so you want to have visually diverse things that you're eating. And surely there's different nutrients in there than there is in the green stuff. Yeah? Ooh, Mom Computer says fried cabbage and dumplings, or fried cabbage and onions with homemade dumplings. Never made dumplings. Let's see here. Sam Potzik says, is the cleanse going to be up by New Year's, Nate? Yes, actually it is already. It is already up. That was the test run. So we're not really promoting it. So sorry to the guys that, I was like gonna promote the cleanse, the Viking cleanse, with Facebook ads and stuff. But it turns out that it's very difficult to market that thing because it's a health claim. And so we just got shut down like immediately trying to run ads. And so we didn't want to jeopardize the ad account by running any more ads about that, because right away the ads were getting flagged for misleading health claims. You can't claim that this does anything, essentially. You can't claim, it's all just lawyer speak and stuff, but you can't say words like detoxify and blah, 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 especially as a new account. If you're like the detox dudes, and you've got 200,000 followers and stuff on Facebook, then they'll let you buy with a lot more stuff. But for us, it's like impossible to market. So we're not even going to bother, because that was just a test run, and that will just be like for the tribe. That'll be an upsell thing or whatever. I don't know exactly how we'll use that yet, but I'm so glad that we did it, because that showed me so much more for the growing course, which we've now set up and are filming now. So that's going to be starting next Saturday. It will be on pre-launch, and then February 16th, price doubles. Yes, literally. So that's, we're going to start pressing it hardcore. We're going to start doing lots more content starting January, the first week of January. Full-blown content again, social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of that, hitting it heavy. So we'll see how this year does. We will revisit this in the fall time, and we will talk about, well, I'm sure I'll give you guys updates, obviously, as it goes along, but we'll revisit it in the fall, and you can be like, so Nate, was it worth it this year? And I'll be like, you know what? It was, definitely. Or I'll be like, meh, we'll see. We got to readjust our angles, and we got to approach it differently, and, we'll do better next season. So we'll see. We'll see. Yes, Ecology Today says, I am hosting/producing on the Urban Gardener live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Last call, nourish your soil before winter arrives with Adam Burley. Give you guys a shout out there. Everybody here knows the Urban Gardener podcast, of course, and I know a lot of you guys go right over there. So definitely check that out. Melanie, what are we talking about? Conspiracy theory gardening now? What prompted you to say that? I can't recall what we were talking about at the time. I know. The polar vortex is coming. Let us see. Yeah. Oh, I know. Jason Hetty, they have to make you go out and buy out the grocery store of eggs, milk, and bread. I know that was always the thing. Ooh, stock up on eggs, milk, and bread. For what are those three things in particular? Eggs, milk, and bread. Uh, I mean, really, what you should be stocking up on is like lentils and dried beans and canned goods. If you're talking about like surviving for, I mean, milk and eggs are going to be, a couple weeks at the most. That's probably why, because all that goes bad quickly, I guess. But you're going to be having milk sandwiches, with your bread. But what would be much better is to buy raw wheat berries that you could then sprout, but you could also grind them into your own flour. So there's way better. Man, 2020 showed me that people have no concept whatsoever of what it takes to survive in a situation, because chaos strikes and everybody rushes out and buys toilet paper and hand sanitizer. But yet, and then I would go to Walmart, I would go to try and like find some food quickly, and the freezer aisle was wiped out clean. All DiGiorno's and Hot Pockets and all that stuff wiped out. Not a single frozen good left. And then, but yet I go to the other section and stocked full rice, beans, lentils, all that stuff untouched. And I'm like, these guys have no concept what it takes to survive. They just panic buy frozen goods. And surely they don't have backup generators for their freezers. They're not that, I mean, they just, so whatever, It's like, okay, well, so then I just bought boatloads of rice, beans, and lentils. And then I vacuum sealed them in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers in 5-gallon buckets. We still got that stuff. So there's tons of ways that you can prepare stuff for a very, very long time. Frozen DiGiorno pizzas and Hot Pockets is not how you survive anything. It's not even how you thrive in your day-to-day life, actually. What's up, Christy Miller? Good to see you here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Uh, let's see here. Just one of those cabbages would give me kraut for weeks. Yes. Oh, definitely. Stuffed cabbage rolls with that. You and Camille could eat them like spaghetti and Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, really. Roll it up. Mm. Yeah. So, guys, picked up some bad habits again. Yeah. Psych. No, this is from Thanksgiving. Okay, listen. Now, our friend gave us a farm raised turkey. He raises stuff, animals on his mostly beef and turkeys and hogs. It's where we get our pastured hog from. And he had some turkeys. And so we got one, and it was like 21 pounds. And well, we've had a previous one. But the thing is that I have never had a turkey really that was good. I mean, my brother made one year that was the best I ever had up to that point. And so, but always turkey is just kind of dry and flavorless, no matter what. So we cooked one in the oven a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, and even with my prowess of cooking and everything, still it was like dry. Yeah, I mean, we bit into that leg and it was just like biting into powder, just like oh, ah, we had to like slather up the juices. I had to make like a butter sauce for it and stuff and shred it and then soak it in there and then put it on a sandwich. I mean, like, gosh, why? So I could not let that happen because we were tasked There was maybe 20 people, at Thanksgiving. That's small. So I was tasked with making the turkey. And so there was no way that I was going to take any chance whatsoever of that happening. You remember in Christmas Vacation, the Griswold turkey, where they just cut into it and just powder dry? That stereotypes exist for a reason, or that kind of thing exists because that's people's experience. Is it just bone dry and they're all just gnawing on? Oh, it's good, Clark. Gnawing on is disgusting. Okay, and so I was not going to let that happen because uh, it fell on my shoulders, the turkey, and so you can't be bringing some dry, gross, turkey jerky kind of thing. Powder that just turns into like chalk in your mouth. That's not going to work. All right. So what I did was I asked my brother, what was it? How exactly did you make that one that everybody was raving about? And he was like, here's what I did. I injected it with Tony Chachere's. It's some Cajun name. Nobody knows how to pronounce Cajun anything. Not even them a lot of times. So it's this. And he said, I injected it into there the night before. Oh, that's what keeps it all juicy and stuff. And so even though it is chems, yes, there's no MSG in it, but it's a bottle of chems, obviously. I mean, and we have a basically zero chem lifestyle as far as what we eat. Everything is, you guys know. So it's all from scratch and it's all like ingredients. And I was like, all right, well, it's just one day a year, and the focus is having juicy, tender, delicious turkey. It's not about, having absolutely zero chems in your turkey. So I went ahead and did it, and I injected it, but then I also did some stuff, made some garlic herb butter with garlic and rosemary, thyme from the garden and stuff, made it super delicious, poured it over after the fact, injected it the night before, slow roasted it for 6 hours, and it was so tender and juicy and delicious. It was unbelievable. Most people were like, yeah, this is the best turkey that we ever had. That's what I needed to hear, not, oh, the turkey was good. Who made the turkey? Oh, yeah, it was good. Thanks. Mm. And then nobody ever touches any of it. And if you make something at Thanksgiving, then you're secretly out of the corner of your eye looking at what everyone's throwing away. You're just kind of hovering around the trash can, sort of looking at what everyone's throwing away. And I didn't want to see huge platefuls of turkey going right into the trash. And I didn't really see any turkey going into the trash. And in fact, we had a bunch. So that's my story on that. Now, I bring this up because there's got to be a way. Tell me if any of you know. There's got to be a way to make your own stuff like this, so we don't got to use this shelf stable, chemical. It's a tenderizing solution, much like steakhouses and stuff will soak their steaks in. It's a tenderizing solution for sure. I looked up some of the chemicals, but how can we make our own that is relatively similar for when we make a turkey that we can then cut up and freeze for sandwiches and things like that? Because obviously we don't want to be eating this stuff, if we don't have to. But I'll tell you what, it worked. It worked. Super delicious. And the way you could tell is because in the pan, after slow roasting for 6 hours, there was virtually no juices, no drippings. It all stayed locked in there. It was so good. So good. Val says, Nate, how much room do you need for these cabbages? Well, let's say it this way. In a 4x10 bed, okay, I put 5 of these Brunswicks, or 5 of these Sapporos. Could have put 8. Could have put 8 in there. There was a lot of empty space. So could have put 8. And I put 10 of the regular cabbages in there. And yeah, they're growing on top of each other. I mean, they're really, you don't see, when you look down in the cabbage beds, you don't see an inch of space. You don't see nothing underneath. It's all canopy, which is what you want. You know, those are my practices from back in the day. You want that real estate, you want that canopy full, okay? So you don't want to see a bunch of holes in the canopy. So you want that all these things, any holes in the canopy is weeds can come up through them, and it's just wasted real estate. So you need to maximize the canopy space by planting closely. Yes, really helps a lot. Let me see if I got a picture for you guys. There will be tons. There's tons of garden pictures and tours and everything. If you guys are wondering how all this went, wait till you see the course. I mean, all the stuff is there. So it's all, yeah, harvesting them. It's huge. But let's see here. I just want to see if there's a picture of the, look at this, guys. Slow roasted turkey. Yes, absolutely delicious. Super juicy, 21 pounds. Now, the cabbage, though. Let me see if there is a... I just want to show you how there's really no... Guys, we got so many carrots. Oh man, so many carrots. Ridiculous. We don't even know what to do exactly with them all. Let's see. You can't really tell in here. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but here's a picture of Tegan out there. You know, there's no space, dead space in between. So now, that being said, I don't know exactly what, I never measure with a ruler anymore. You know, I just eyeball all the spacing of the plants. You just eyeball, and it's perfectly fine. Melvina, what soil do I use in the houseplants? I transformed my practices over the years in the houseplants. Okay, so here's my rule basically anymore. Organics, totally natural, soil food web organics, outdoors. Indoors, it's synthetics. Now, you can do organics indoors, but I've experimented so much over the years, and eventually you will get a rancid smelling, you know, gnat infested kind of thing, because trying to use like Fox Farm or trying to use compost, oh my gosh, which I did, compost, and then J-Dom. Listen, I was using compost and J-Dom chicken fertilizer, liquid fertilizer in the houseplants like years ago. And that's how, oh, it's all organic, it's all natural, you know. No, it's just a rancid, disgusting mess, and eventually turns septic. And so, indoor, make your life easy and go with the synthetics, because the plants do not grow like this in their natural environment. All right, they just don't grow like this. It's totally, they can grow like this inside our houses, but they don't grow anything like this. All right. For example, these pothos do not grow a 25-foot long vine. They will grow just long enough to find a spot of earth or a tree trunk where they can latch onto and essentially become a new plant, you know, and then spread out roots. They only vine like this if they have to. I mean, I've got literally a 25-foot, I mean, just all the way around. It's just crazy. Vines everywhere. So, and now they don't like to grow like that. They can, though, of course. But here's the thing. The soil for your houseplants, Look to Nature says, Fox Farm Happy Frog attracts fungus gnats for me. It does more than attract. It has them already in it. They're already in it. So that's the problem. One of the problems. Now, as you guys will see in the seed starting course, though, my exact system, basically use... So for the house plants, though, you want to use basically the soil mix. I can't ramble it off the top of my head at the moment, but I've made a video on it. If not, it's in the course. You'll see it. It's the same mix that I will put in these. We did a grow bag, a full year grow bag section of the course, where I show you guys the best way to utilize grow bags or pots or whatever that is. The whole system, full season, all the way from making it till harvest. And in that module, I show you guys the soil mixture. And that is the exact same soil mixture, the same ratios to use for your houseplants, except you will not put in the Viking granular or any granular nutrients, your homemade, because I show you guys how to mix your own granular nutrients in the course. So that will, you don't use that, okay? Because there's not the soil food web. You're not soil food web farming with your houseplants. And then you will basically use just a Grow More 20-20-20. Yeah, synthetic, an occasional CalMag, occasional Super Thrive, and you'll have vines, just massive vines that people will come in and they're like, well, what? Not just vines, but all houseplants. So hopefully that has answered your questions. Chris Miller, thank you. Add dumpling to the must-try list. You won't regret it. Please, can someone give me a good, high-quality recipe for dumplings that they have tested, like their personal recipe? I can ask ChatGPT or I can go onto the internet, but I want to know what's your tried and true recipe, if you don't mind. You can email it to me. I won't give it away. I just want to, shorten the learning curve because I've never made dumplings. Mm-hmm. Yes, Doug McCoy. We do make cabbage steaks. Yes, and put some of this mustard on it. Yes, we've been making cabbage steaks. They're super delicious. I kind of forgot about those, actually. Yes. Queen RB says Reuben with fermented kraut is the bomb. Grilling the Reuben properly won't kill the live cultures. Got to have raw cheese as well. Ooh, yes. Now, we're not big sandwich people, and I haven't typically been a big sandwich person in my life. So really, when you say Reuben, I really don't even know what you're talking about, except I think it means on rye bread and some kind of, is it corned beef? Something like that, but we're just not really sandwich people. Ooh, Melanie, what are you talking about here? Best decision ever. They're so easy and take so little space. Embarrassing I didn't do it sooner. I think you might be talking about ducks or something. Okay, yes. Thank you. Look to Nature says, sent you an email from a new Strictly Gardening email. Look for it. Okay, will do. And then we will get on with the testing, okay? Like I said in the email. So that will be very helpful. Now, let me just... Guys, this thing is insane. Spawn Viking Grow. Nate, are you going to post module 3.5 on the cleanse? I think you're talking about exactly how to make the drink. I forgot all about that. I already recorded it. I just haven't put it together. I will do that. Yes. It will get done. I can't give you a time frame, but definitely. There is definitely a way to do it. In short, the way to do it is to kick on your kettle and then it sounds more complicated when I describe it, but in reality, it's very easy little practice. And you essentially have a measuring glass, all right, like one of those Anchor Hawking, right, measuring glasses. You measure out the molasses in that and then pour the boiling water over it and dilute the molasses like that, okay? And then you make the rest of your drink. You only pour a couple ounces of the boiling water over it, and then it totally makes it liquid. And then you easily mix it in with everything else. So, but I will show you in the video, yes. So guys, I'm sitting here and okay, this house is 100 years old, built in 1925. And I'm just wondering, how much longer are these houses going to be around? I mean, as far as at what point do people start bulldozing these houses? You know, this house essentially needs everything you could ever need to do to a house. There was just a roof put on last season, but it has original windows, literally original windows with the weights and everything. They just rest in the frames and they blow around. When the wind is blowing, it sounds like you're on an old wooden ship, like a pirate ship, and it's all just crackling and you like ropes or and the windows. And I'm just feeling ice cold air pouring in around all the windows and even the wall, because there's no insulation in the walls. It all fell out over the years. They're just hollow, and the walls are freezing cold, and the front door is original, and it's just crazy. So I wonder, like, someone moves in here and they're going to need to, if they buy it for $100,000, they're going to have to put 120 in it. I mean, every single thing, the plumbing, the heating and air, all the pipes need redone because they're all corroded to the point where nothing can hardly pass through them. So, and then the sewer going out to the street, needs redone. That's a $12,000 project, and they got to rip up all the garden beds. And I was like, well, we're not going to be doing that. Just all this stuff, because the clay tiles have separated over all the 100 years, So I'm like, well, at what point do they just bulldoze these houses now, and then build something? So I don't know. That's just something I think of. I don't know if you guys live in old, not updated houses or not, but I mean, you just feel the draft. I mean, when the wind blows, when it's a really windy day, you can see the houseplants moving in here because there's so much draft. So. Ooh, nice. Susan says, hi, Nate, been busy with retirement, trying to catch up. Nice. Good to hear that it's going well. Look to nature. Does anyone know an all-natural organic way of producing Velveeta cheese? It's part of the SAD diet I miss. Ugh, yeah, well, you can start with emptying out your crankcase on your vehicle. Okay, that's a good base. And then we got to get some metahexane hypochloride, and then we've got to set it, it's not, it's funny that they can call it cheese. So, you want to see the difference. Okay, look. Now, this is a sweet potato that was grown in the freshly tilled first season tarp garden at the Viking North plot. Okay, so now it just could not poke through the clay. It was just too hard. Nice long hardy vines. It just could not poke through it couldn't move the clay out of the way, so it just kind of it just stayed there, all sort of like contorted and stuff. All right, and this is what you get, lots of them, because it was just like in a little dense clay ball, and sweet potatoes are not very good at pushing clay aside because they evolve more in sandy tropical type of places. So likewise, here is a sweet potato from the exact same strain, the exact same slips that I started. It was just grown in loose, fluffy soil. All right, this is the difference that you will get. All right, this one is from the heavy clay soil. This is from the loose, fluffy soil. And so this is how you should be having the sweet potatoes. They should all be like this. And when I was doing them in bags, they were all like this. I would have looked at this and been like, oh, it's a small, it's a runt. But doing it, man. Sweet potatoes are a little bit tricky. They just need particular things. So if they're all contorted like that and bunched up, it's because they couldn't push through the clay. This is how they should look. Nice and soft and fluffy. Yeah. Huge difference. And you know what? Honestly, though, these make wonderful potatoes. These still make great potatoes because what we do is we will take these. I'm going to try and leave this one together, though, for example purposes. We will take each one of these and just boil it, clean it off, boil it, smash it, and fry it. Super delicious. So it's not really a problem at all. Now, the only time that you really need the big potatoes is if you're baking them and you want like a jacket sweet potato, or you want to use pucks, like boil it or roast it and then use the pucks and fry those, which is super good too. But they both have their place, so it's not the end of the world. We have a boatload of these small ones because that's where we planted most of them. We only planted 3 slips in here, so as just an afterthought, as like a filler. So let me see here. 1 second. 1 second. Guys, if you don't have one of these, oh man, you're missing out. Portable shop vac. Absolutely use it all the time. It's more than just a glorified dust buster. It's works really well. Yeah, Sam Potzik says, wasting food is a bit of a pet peeve to me. Yes, that is why I have decided long ago, don't bring your homegrown stuff, for the most part, to family functions. Because if I saw somebody throw away even 1 spoonful of my homegrown potatoes, I would lose my cool. Or I would just forever think less of that person. In some way. I would just they would definitely go down a rung as far as the hierarchy goes in my mind. And I fear that I would not be able to hold my tongue, nor should I, because why are you throwing away the most nutrient dense food that can be had, that can be grown? So definitely throwing away food is a modern phenomenon. I mean, we did not do that in the past. Absolutely did not. Now, does that mean everyone ate every scrap of everything? No. Each little homestead had animals that would close the loop. Hogs, chickens, give it all to them, and they will bring it full circle again. So yeah, I knew, because the first couple times I did, and I would see somebody just talking, oh yeah, well, this is great, but I'm full. Throw the whole plate in the trash. What the did you just do, bro? That's not gonna work. What's up, Pam? Says Nate, I have just tried to send a comment and they deleted it. Not sure why. Not sure why. I saw that one. Jason says, brine that turkey in a salt and sugar solution. Then put your compound butter under the skin before baking. So how would I brine it? Would I have to put it in like a massive tote? And for how long? Let's see here. I'm going to, okay, so let's see here. You guys are talkative today. What's up, Shield Ama? Yes, I think you gave me a testimonial. Is that right? You should check out the website next week. You guys don't have to do it now, but next week, because it'll be live next week. Yeah, Melanie, anyone have success winter sowing? So winter sewing I did for several years when I didn't have a setup, and it works pretty good. It gives you a few weeks head start, couple weeks head start. It's not the same, it's not like a miraculous anything. You're just creating a miniature terrarium slash greenhouse that cranks the temperature up a little bit prematurely. So it thinks it's a little bit later in the season than it actually is. And so you will get things that will sprout when they naturally would want to sprout a little bit more. So the main advantage is, well, one, that it doesn't require anything but the milk jugs, which can be acquired for free. And two, though, the best thing of all is that your plants are already hardened off, that they can go right into the ground. So good things to do winter sowing with is like cilantro, also basil. I've done, and so it doesn't. You don't get a bunch of time though. I mean, it pretty much a week or two earlier than you would if you just planted it in the ground, But at least you can take it, bust it apart, and plant a little plug. You know, I don't like to plant anything from seed anymore. I mean, direct sowing in the garden. Corn, of course, I would. Corn, I would definitely plant or do plant like that. But most things I'm starting up if I can. I mean, carrots, I definitely plant, obviously direct sow. But even beets, I'm starting them up and stuff. So the things that would work good for winter sowing, in my experience, are a lot of flowers or herbs. Definitely basil. You can sow it really thick and then bust it apart and kind of plant the little plug of 3 or 4 basil plants, and it will be nice and big and bushy. So that works really well. Things that did not work well were like tomatoes, because it tricks them into sort of sprouting a little bit early, and then we get a frost. Because remember, at nighttime it will be ambient temperature. When your little milk jugs, it'll be 140 during the day, but it'll be ambient at night. So if it's still freezing, um, you, you know, so they pretty much will come up the same time your volunteer tomatoes want to come up. Okay, thank you. Dorothy says, to truly tenderize meat, try salt brine overnight. You would need a huge container for a full-size turkey. I would prefer to cut up the bird first and brine in huge chunks. Okay, so that's the second brine I've got. That sounds right. That sounds about right. I could easily get a large tote, and then the appropriate amounts of salt, and someone said sugar, which obviously we don't like to use sugar, but if that's as bad as it gets, then I'm okay with that. Don Hughes, we got super overwhelmed with all kinds of stuff this year. So the blackberries, we have at the Viking North just like what I would consider an infestation of raccoons. I mean, every time we set a trap, every trap was full every time. I mean, and I don't think we even hardly. I mean, it didn't really slow down. So and when we planted the blackberries, we made the place all super nice and stuff, put the electric fence around it so the deer don't get to any of it, the whole orchard. It's really nice. And the next time I went out there, every single one of the blackberries was pulled up and just thrown right on the hot plastic. Just pulled up, thrown down, pulled up, thrown down. I mean, it looked like a person went up there, dug their hands into the hole, picked it up, and just threw it down like that, and then stomped on it and walked away. I mean, the raccoon is the most disgusting creature that I do not lose one moment of sleep over taking care of the raccoon. Let me just say it that way. Again, though, I'm not going out into the woods trying to hunt raccoons. Go away. Do your thing away from me. But if you're doing that, every single one of them didn't even leave one. Obviously trying to get to the Viking granular, it smelled in the hole. So, but if you're doing that, you gotta go. You gotta go. There's no questions asked. And so this year, I'm gonna get like 5 cage traps, and we're gonna set them all every time. And then I'll just go out there with my little Ruger, you know, and take care of them, because you can't be making it somebody else's problem. Nobody likes a raccoon unless you're all, cat lady and you feed them all and stuff and you think it's really cute. You got like 35 raccoons back there. That's fine. I'm not, this is not a personally knocking you, but if you're trying to grow things or do anything useful out in the yard, then they're going to be a massive problem. So that's my thought on that. And for that reason, we had to reorder all the blackberries because I want blackberries, and once they're established, they'll be fine. So we had to reorder them super late. So they did, though, grow about this long. Now, we have to trellis them. That's going to be one of the very first tasks in the springtime, is to set up the trellis properly so that we can attach them to that. But right now, yeah, they did end up growing. They got several feet. But we'll see. We'll see. It's a multi-year project, but once you set up the trellis properly and stuff with the T-post and the 12 gauge wire, then it should be producing for quite some time. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Nice. Mom Computer, I would absolutely love to see how to make dumplings. Family recipe for generations. That's what I'm talking about. That's the only way I want to know how to make them. I don't even want to mess with anything less. Yes, Stone Creek, you're very welcome. It's true, we are super busy right now, but it's all a list of priorities, and this is high priority to me. Touching base with you guys and stuff, because I didn't make any content all season long, but that's about to change big time. Okay, so and guys, we will have a affiliate program for the courses. So and I'm going to set the price. I mean, good. So you guys will get like, well, I don't want to say a number yet, but it'll be worth your time. So like maybe $40 or something like that for each course. That if you sell it through your link, it's an affiliate program. The software already has it built into it. If you sell it through your link, it just automatically deducts it. I mean, it's all just bam, 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 automatic. Goes to your account, goes to my account, and that's it. And so that will be a thing like for people that are active in the community, the private community, for people that are active in that, answering questions, posting questions and stuff. Then once you get to a certain level of, it's all automatic software. It's so nice. Once you get to a certain level, it will unlock the affiliate option. And if you really believe in it, which obviously I feel that you will, then you can market them yourself through your Facebook groups or however you want to do it. However you want to do it, but you can, make the affiliate commission. So just wanted to say that. Yes, definitely Big Will Dog. Yes, you can definitely get that. Terry, I do not have any experience with goji berries. I've tried several times, but I just kind of lost my, no. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, TK says underground housing is good housing. Yeah, when we get the land, you will see, because it will all happen kind of quickly. I've been planning for years the type of house that will be there, and it is fully earth burned. So it's going to be amazing. Really, you think so, Teets? That they built the house with no insulation? Yeah, probably. And then I could tell, years ago, they because there's those circular holes in the siding, they tried to blow in insulation, but even all of that is collapsed and fell down through the basement. It was like that old newspaper stuff, it's all just collapsed. There's nothing in the walls. I mean, it's insane. You can hear people outside. You can hear them breathing, basically. It's just like insane. Big West says, we have new windows and doors. I miss complaining about it. Yeah, I don't know what I would complain about then. But seriously, if they get this house, they're going to have to replace all the siding, all the insulation, every single window, the door, the floor is a total mess. You get splinters in it when you walk on. I mean, it's a total mess. So I got rugs over the whole entire thing, and all the plumbing, the furnace, the you know the east wall is collapsed. I mean, just ooh. But yeah. What's up, Taylor Rindle? Nice. We'll try this. Someone send me or someone, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Here we go. Let's see here. Okay. Yes, very good. I'm going to use that. I cut the small sweet potatoes into medallions, put in baking dish with butter, salt, pepper, a little water. Bake uncovered for half hour, then stir and cover, and stir and uncover half hour more. They will caramelize. Nice. I mean, that's kind of similar to what we do. I mean, in ways, except I don't roast them that much, but definitely we'll do that. Donald Hughes says brine in salt water for 4 days, then smoke. Tastes like ham. Well, that sounds pretty cool. I didn't know it was that long. Yes, some random guy 98. I remember seeing a video where Nate showed a plant rotation. I remember that broad beans or beans were planted after garlic. That is when I did have the best, some of the best garlic. You know, before I could see, those are like different practices that, I didn't have any money at all at the time. And so I was using the knowledge and the techniques of using the beans, the sort of things love to grow really well after beans and peas just because of what they do to the soil. They do gather nitrogen and stuff. They tend to use most of that nitrogen, but there's other factors, and it just makes the soil really nice and fertile after beans and peas have grown there. So, and the timing was right. So the garlic is harvested, first week of I forget what July, first week of July. So then we put the beans in there, bush beans always, and we get a full-on run of bush beans, full harvest, huge harvest, picking cannon beans, bush beans, green beans. And then once those are done, we cut them, leave them all there, all the roots there, and then plant the garlic. And that's when I was doing no-till, that's how I would do it. The primary thing was no-till, but now I don't practice that anymore. So I could, but this just works so much better than anything else. Okay, Big Will Dog says, when roasting my turkey, I brine it overnight, load celery, onion, garlic, carrot, potato, herbs, comes out juicy and flavorful every time. Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking that because I'm seeing a lot of juicy comments, a lot of people are like mine's juicy and stuff. I'm feeling like there might be a dis a different. We're using that word differently. We're using that word differently because I am an absolute, like I live for food and cooking and stuff. So I'm like very, very, into it, I want to say. So like for me to say that, I mean, most people would think that turkey that I thought was, disappointing and dry. Most people would probably be like, wow, this is flavorful and delicious. But for me, it's like I need it to be almost like brisket, just like super tender, fall apart, delicious, juicy. And if it's not like that, then it's not optimized. You know, that's just how I am. That doesn't mean anything. '22 trap. What is a '22 trap? Yeah, if it's an instant eliminator, I would not obviously like that because I mean, what if it was a cat or something, or what if it was the neighbor's dog or something? I mean, a live trap I like not because they're gonna go away anywhere, but because if it's something you're not targeting, then you can just let it go, you know. And I have had neighborhood cats, the small chipmunk trap, okay, the cage trap. I used to set back there before I got Shiva. She's eliminated all that stuff, but the small chipmunk trap that's like this big around and like this long. I went out there one day and saw a full size alley cat stuffed inside of it, going meow, meow. I was like, what the? How'd you even get in there? And so I had to be real careful letting it go because it's these are not house cats, that kind. So for that reason, I just like it to be live, you know. I just like it to be live. And what is it? The one who passes the judgment must carry out the sentence. You know, there's something to that. Here we go. I've been brining and smoking turkeys for 35 years. I brine 15 plus pound turkeys in 1 cup salt, half cup sugar, dissolved in 1 gallon of water for 3 days. Smaller turkeys can be brined for 2 days. Nice. Now, what kind of container? 1 gallon isn't, or you mean like several gallons at that ratio? Yeah, of course. So that sounds good. We need to get on that train because this at least opened my eyes to what was possible. Super delicious, tender, juicy turkey is possible. But I never want to do that again because it was like movie theater butter. The smell and stuff was like, oh man, just because we're so sensitive to all of that. Stone Creek raccoon scat is really toxic to dogs, toxic to everything. They're just the filthiest, most disgusting animals. And the smell of them, wherever they are, it just has that smell of just like piss and sort of just, they're just disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see how the pelts could possibly be worth anything. How would anybody want it? It's like wearing a rat skin something. When I see coon skin stuff, I'm like, to me, that's like look at my rat skin coat. Look at my, possum skin, rat skin, coat, which is just disgusting. Well, no, okay, we're not doing that. And also, most raccoon pelts need to be taken during the winter because in the summertime they're mangy and they're super tough to get off. I used to be into that kind of stuff, but in the summertime the skin is real tough to get off of stuff because it doesn't have that subcutaneous layer of fat. You need that. The wintertime creatures, their skin comes off real much easier. Absolutely. People that feed feral cats and raccoons can't handle it when you tell them they're mucking up the local environment. Oh, absolutely. Feral cats, I mean, okay, there is a thing where the feral cats are, hurting native wildlife. That's for sure, especially birds and small creatures. But that I don't really mind. That I don't really mind because they keep the rats and the chipmunks and the little digging squirrels and stuff like that. I'm coming at it from a homesteading more aspect of trying to use the land and grow things. So the cat is very beneficial so long as you can keep them from digging in the garden, which this system now eliminates that. So, I mean, a total non-issue now. And that's the only problem with cats was the digging. And now it's not a problem at all. But raccoons are always undesirable. Really? Jeff Lowenfels, the author of Teeming with Microbes, right? Once offered a big cash prize for anyone who could grow blackberries in Alaska. No one ever collected. They should try and grow the Doyle's blackberries then. I mean, that seems like, if I was really motivated to do it, it seems like you could do it. But the Doyle's blackberry is supposedly like negative 40 degrees, something like that. Ooh, yeah, I know. I know. It's definitely the Viking granular. It attracts the raccoons. I mean, they love it. Ooh, I bet that is delicious. Look to Nature says, anyone else tried Nate's Viking eggnog? I used 4 huge duck eggs instead of 5. That would be amazing. The duck yolks are so much more just big and succulent. Yeah, Stone Creek says, unfortunately, my neighbor has 10 cats. They eat and kill everything. Plus, the neighbors feed all wildlife. Yeah, yeah. It's because they like it. They like to feed. They like to feel like, they're feeding and they're helping their little pets and stuff. But the cats are usually wildly unhealthy. All of them got worms. I mean, the 10 cats, there's no way. Just. Hmm. Yes. So let's see here. Guys, you pretty much want to get ready for the indoor season as far as sprouting. Okay. So get you some alfalfa seeds. All right. They last several years. And then you want to get you the proper utensils. And that's going to be a wide mouth mason jar. And then the appropriate lids. So I'll go over this several times over the winter as you see me growing them, probably. But I just want to explain my thought. Now, these are really good. These are my favorite plastic lids. This is a no-go. These are not good because the flat design, when you try and pour the water into them, it just whoosh, and it doesn't allow for the air to escape. And so they're really slow to fill up, really irritating. All right, these ones. And so I never ever use these anymore. Although they were the only ones I had for several years because someone gave them to me. These were my next favorite, and the way they have solved that issue by making a divot in it, by making this depression in it, and that is definitely makes the water flow in and out of there much easier. Now, these are my favorite plastic lids by far. And then when you tip them upside down, they, it keeps them off the ground. So it allows the airflow. But if you're trying to get away from plastic, which of course I like to limit the plastic wherever possible when especially if it's in direct contact with the food. So these stainless steel ones actually are my favorites. And true to what they say, even after several years, they have not shown one single spot of rust because apparently they are made of 316 stainless steel. If you guys know regular canning rings, they rust like out of the box. I mean, they'll rust if you just put them in the basement where it's humid. They'll just full of rust immediately. And so these, I thought, oh yeah, we'll see about that. But no, they're truly rust free. And now these are some of the older ones that they had. They're a two-part, which they've got the depression in there, which is easy, easier to put the water in there and stuff. But it's two parts, and it's kind of more to take care of, okay? But this is their newer model of it, and this is the Eco Peaceful. And I definitely recommend this product for sure. I think I got them in my Amazon storefront. You guys can check it out. Indoor growing equipment, probably. But these are my favorites because they're easy. You don't have to think about it. You don't have these several parts you got to find and wash and stuff. But this one is a little bit easier to clean. So this one, seeds can get kind of stuck up in there a little bit, but that's marginal. This one is definitely easier to clean. You pop that thing apart, rinse it out, it's clean. And it's just heavier. But these are the ones that I use now. Just because why? If you can limit the plastic use, do it. So that is when it's in direct contact with food, definitely. So that is my thought on that. You guys can start getting prepared for the sprouting season. The best ones for beginners are alfalfa sprouts, by far, for anybody really. They're super nutritious as well. So that's the rundown on that. Just getting you guys started on that. Yeah, Kathy says, my elder neighbor lady kept a huge bag of opened dry cat food in her yard. So many feral cats with pussy eyes, mangy. Then every couple years, her daughter would hire someone to come trap them. Cruel game. Yeah, I know. Most people don't see that though. They just like the company, or they just like, and they've got all these mangy cats that are wiry and infected with stuff, and their quality of life is just terrible. But not only that, but guys, if you know anything, if you've done any amount of research into pet food, then you will understand they put things, it's not regulated whatsoever. So they're absolutely allowed to. They put things in the cat food, dry cans of cat food. They put combinations of chemicals in there that addict the cats so that they will eat more, of course, because more of their product. And so you'll see cats that eat constantly that are still super wiry, looking like they got worms and stuff, unhealthy, not shiny coats and stuff, because they're eating just straight kibble and they're not eating their natural diet. And the cats are just addicted to it. They just want more and more. They're always hungry nonstop. But if you feed your cat a diet, an ancestral diet like it's supposed to eat, raw meat only, that's what they're pure carnivores. If you feed the cat that, its food is so nutrient dense, it will not ask you for food. It just, in the nighttime, it knows that it gets the small little bit of raw meat. That's all it needs. And rotate it with beef liver and beef heart and chicken liver and sometimes red meat, but most of the time chicken, a lot of times, and it eats the bone as well, bone-in chicken. And it's never hungry except for the evening. When it knows it's going to eat. But cats that you see like on a steady diet of cat food, non-stop hungry because there's no nutrients in it and there's chemicals that make them all anxious and addicted to it. Some random guy. That video is probably the Step Your Garlic Game Up video. It's several years ago now. Yeah, several years ago now. That's why I like the course platform so much more because trying to teach things and stuff like that on YouTube, everything just gets lost in the stuff's hard to find, disorganized, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Oops. Oh, you got all those different kinds. Oh, nice. Okay, guys. Well, our time's up for today. So hopefully you hunkered down and you've got your milk, eggs, and bread, and you can be just fine. So if you are, as you do your Christmas shopping, do it through the Viking storefront on Amazon if you shop on Amazon. Okay? We appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.